Alright everyone, welcome back. So we continue on in our 2024 trade deadline previews today with a team that just won the Stanley Cup, and that is the Vegas Golden Knights. So it's funny how the last two were actually connected. When you look at Edmonton, they were on their 16-game winning streak, and who did they lose to? The Vegas Golden Knights. So interesting turnaround there, but I didn't control the order. This is how the order was when I randomized it. So Vegas, as of today, they are currently 29, 15, and 6 for 64 points, and they are second overall in the Pacific Division. And currently, they don't have any cap space. Now, there's going to be LTR money that's moved. Maybe contracts get moved too. There is a chance that things like that do happen. However, Vegas, I don't expect to be a very active team this year. So this may be a short video. I don't expect for Vegas to make many moves. Why? Because I haven't seen them in the rumor mill that much. I haven't seen them really in the rumors to move players all too much. So I'm really not expecting a big name player to be acquired by the Golden Knights, at least at this deadline, or not at least right now. It's probably going to be a lot of depth and no-name guys that Vegas trades for. But they do have some stuff they need to work on in the offseason. So their UFAs currently, you got Jonathan Marchessault, Chandler Stephenson, Michael Amadio, Alec Martinez, and Alex Carrier. So 5 interesting names there that have been a part of the Stanley Cup run in certain ways. So Marchessault has had a very good playoffs. I believe he was even the Conn Smythe winner. So he's had himself a great run throughout the playoffs. He might have been. I might be wrong. He had himself a great run in the playoffs, has played well this season, so I'm expecting him to get paid. It won't be something like, it won't be really expensive, but it's definitely going to cost Vegas a good chunk of the money they have coming off the books this season. Stevenson as well, very underrated center. He's going to want some money. You see some of the other players around the NHL get contracts. I think Stevenson looks at that and says, well, I'm your team's number 1 or number 2 center. I believe I deserve this kind of money. And it's not well deserved. He definitely deserves the money that he's going to get because he's been a very underrated center the past couple of months. Michael Amadio, probably going to be a league minimum contract, somewhere around 9.25, maybe like a 1 million, 1.5, somewhere around there at the highest, but won't cost them too much. Martinez, I think he's probably done in Vegas. He's a guy that I have listed as a movable piece. And then Carrier, too, another fourth line guy, not going to cost you all too much. So yeah, when you look at that, the main priorities are probably Stevenson and Marchessault. I do think that there is a chance they make a small move at the deadline, but I don't think it's really going to be anything that big. Just at least from me speculating right now, knowing what I've heard, I'm not expecting anything really much to happen here in regards to Vegas making a trade. Their RFAs, you got Pavel Dorofeyev, Kaden Korczak, and Daniil Miramonov. All our younger players have done pretty solid. Miramonov's been injured, but have been guys who have come up into the lineup, have played all right, and look like probably their best prospects right now for Vegas. Dorofeyev has played more than those other guys, but definitely won't cost them that much, so you don't really need to worry about that. However, they don't have a whole lot of cap space, and they have Shea Theodore expiring in 2025, and same with Robin Lehner. Now, Lehner, I'm not worried about. He's probably done. They're not going to re-sign him. He's probably going to retire, or at least that's what the expectation is that I would expect with Robin Lehner. But definitely Theodore may cost them some money, so we may be looking at that in the next year or two. So definitely keep an eye on that if you're a Vegas Golden Knights fan. But what are your wants? What do you want if you're Vegas? Well, you want a second Stanley Cup. I guess that's the big thing. Because obviously they did win the Stanley Cup last season. You want depth. I'm sure every team in the league wants depth, though. I do have it written down that they may want a top 6 option. That's not a bad thing to have. Now, it's not bad to really have options there on your offense, and having a stacked offense definitely does help you. But we've seen before teams that buy in a lot, they really don't do that well in the playoffs. It's been kind of a recorded fact. I mean, there's been teams that have won it, but they've acquired a lot of depth players and did it and worried about the depth side of it, the grit and guys like that, and that really helped them out on their run. I'm thinking about Colorado more specifically there in their run. And Vegas, I don't think they had a whole lot of star talent players. Their guys were Jack Eichel and Mark Stone. That was pretty much about it. Not really that highly noted players. I feel like They're very well coached. Bruce Cassidy does a very well job at coaching this team. They should be a playoff team, no question about it. They're not worried about their playoff stance. There was a point in the season where they did kind of turn it off a little bit, and I was a little bit worried, but they've seemed to have turned it back on. Hopefully it stays that way, but obviously we shall find out if that is the case, of course. But yeah, movable assets this team could maybe move. I have the first round pick. That's definitely an option they could do because they do have their first round pick for this year. Alec Martinez could get traded. He's injured right now, but he could be a player that, let's say, you look at Chicago, a team that's willing to take on bad contracts. Maybe you trade him to Chicago and get some cap space to maybe make another move. That could happen. But that's the only thing that I see realistically happening is Vegas trying to do a cap dump move. I don't see a whole lot of things happening outside of that in regards to this Golden Knights team. I don't think it's going to be a very active deadline from them, unfortunately. But yeah, that does it for the preview. I don't have a whole lot. Not as much as Edmonton, but anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Hit that subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate it. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.